call this meeting to order, please. First of all, we need to take roll.
Chairman Frazier.
Here.
Commissioner Coleman. He's down the hall. Commissioner Cordis.
Here.
Commissioner Fordney. Here. Commissioner Long.
Here.
Commissioner Newton.
Here.
Commissioner Woods.
Here.
And ex officio Kent Lane.
Here.
Ex officio Paget.
She's on today.
Okay, you have a quorum.
Okay. I guess we're open for public comments.
You have no public comments tonight.
All right. Item number 3, approval of previous minutes from February 1st.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Motion to approve and seconded. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
All right. Item number 4, discussion concerning upcoming budgets.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to be a little bit proactive. Miss Biggs down at our finance department is going to start asking for budgets to be planned and developed, and so I met with her today and just kind of said, where are we at on this year's budget? We're tracking right on pace. We're at about a 3% incline over last year, so it's always good when we're making more money than the previous years. So we put together a budget based on what we think we'll see in 2016. I will probably be coming back to you guys at the May or June meeting to have you guys vote. Remember, for those of you who haven't done this before with the CVB, we're actually just voting on a number. We're not voting on line items or anything like that, but you're just making a motion to approve the total sum for the year. So we are banking on $125,000 right now, a little bit of an increase from this year, and the administrative fee is wrapped up in that as well. So Lori and I have worked together on how we think that we could best utilize $125,000 moving forward next year. So this is more just kind of an FYI piece. If you want to take it home, look it over. If you have any questions for us, let us know. And like I said, we'll be coming back to you guys with a total number within the next 2 months for sure. So I think Kim asked for the vote to be taken last May, and so I'd be surprised if it wasn't going to be next month. So. But if you have any questions right now, we'd be more than happy to help you. One thing that I do want to point out, I guess a couple things actually. Special event development. This is a little bit more of a proactive approach. When we're talking a little bit about what are we going to do with future generations of events, I think that we also have to look at, is the CVB going to be responsible for creating more events? It's something that the city manager and I have discussed a couple different times now, and I think what can we do to fill the longer gaps that we go in between weeks or months where we might not have as many events going in downtown. What can the CVB do to promote that, whether it's a food event, an art event, whatever we can do to help bring people to town. So what's the CVB's role in going to do that? So that's going to be an initial start of about $6,000. I have budgeted, of course, nothing is written in stone at this point. And then Lori's seen a lot of really great success at conventions and trade shows recently. So that was something that we had originally cut when we brought the CVB function back over to City Hall, just because we were trying to figure out what the best use for conventions and trade shows was going to be. Now that we've got some more materials that we can pass out with updated information and talking about what's going on in Guthrie, I think that along with that and the tourism study that the OSU group is doing, we'll have some really great info to share at these conventions and trade shows as well. So kind of a starting point for us right now, but we're obviously open to any questions that you have. And
What falls under contracts and services?
this is our subscription to Frontier Country Marketing Association, our partnership agreement with Lazy E.
Okay.
And there's a little bit of extra funds in there for us to be able to reach an agreement partway in the middle of the year if we are approached by another second party or something like that. Sorry.
And what falls under special event assistance?
The review process that we have seen over the last couple, we did this back in, we did this in February and March, to where we just reviewed applications as they were requesting funding.
So that's 89ers, territorial
Oh,
Christmas.
okay,
Correct.
yeah, that's what we're talking about, okay.
And the process for that stuff will continue to be the same. We'll meet through the special event subcommittee and ask them to give a recommendation, and then have a commentary period for all the board to make a final review.
Well, I agree that probably need to hit some of those conventions and trade shows.
Yeah, they've been a big success so far. And you haven't had to pay for one yet.
Nope.
So that's great, but not all of them are free. So take a look at it in your free time.
To some conventions and trade shows.
If you have any questions, don't hesitate to just reach out and
They are
say,
fun.
what's going on with this?
They are fun, yeah, they are.
Okay,
I guess the question that I would have is, how do we measure the success of any of these? What's the criteria?
I think data, one,
Who collects the data?
we are, it kind of changes with every single different scenario. Artwork, photos and design, well, that's not something that you can say is really measurable, because all of that goes into a marketing piece at the end of the day, whether it's a billboard, whether it's a social media advertisement, or whether it's a brochure that we hand out. So the brochures, the print advertising, how many brochures are we handing out? Are we getting any commentary from that? Social media, that's probably the easiest one to track right now, because all the groups do a great job of saying who we are reaching and everything like that. Conventions and trade shows, how many impressions are we making? Those kinds of things.
I don't know what that means.
But his question, and there's no answer, is.
Well, I think the answer is as someone is booking, so if you went to a bus tour trade show and you have bus tours booking,
show up,
that
yeah.
show up, so you've got some
And you can
quantitative
track
sales.
every social media ad, and you can track everything you hand out and every billboard, but unless the store owners or somebody comes in and spends dollars, you don't know.
Right.
And unless you ask when they walk in the door, you just don't know.
And
You can presume some things, but
on all of our advertising, just having a call to action. We did, we boosted some posts on social media to attract more people to 89ers. We've seen over 30,000 people like 2 different posts combined that we've shared since last Saturday. We've had 700 unique website clicks, because there is that call to action saying visit our website to learn about the events, or check out this to learn about blah 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 event happening on this date. There's a call to action, and so whenever you're able to check and see what that measurable was on the call to action, that's when you have really, really great raw data.
it's
And of
on that
course-
Facebook page, where it says call to action.
And then of course you've got how are we tracking on hotel motel? A lot of that is determined by the outside economy, but
We just trust we're making the right decisions and advertising the way we should and who we should be advertising to. Have to trust that we're making the right
It's going to give
choices.
us a lot of insight into
Yeah,
that
that
as
will,
well.
that'll give us
It's
some
going to give us a
information.
lot of
but-
information.
And some of the data that we're talking about is process data, not outcome data.
Right.
And it's a part of what we want to see happen, but just, for instance, on number of hits on social media doesn't necessarily translate to people in the street,
you're right.
people in
Absolutely.
hotels,
No, but
stuff like that. It's an indicator.
You
It's a
would-
process indicator. It's not an outcome.
Whenever you see website clicks, that's a strong indicator at that point that one, that person has seen the dates on our ads, the date lines up with free time that they have to spend, you know, outside of a Little League baseball game or something like that, and then it might be something that they're attracted to. And so whenever we see website clicks, those are great indicators for us. No, I don't think that we're gonna grab all 30,000 people that have seen that ad on social media, no.
Can we tell if they're clicking on like our lodging? Cause that there would be, they're checking into the hotels or,
Quite frankly,
Right.
increased sales tax and the hotel motel tax is about the real way to know.
To answer that a little bit, Lori was at the Frontier Country Marketing Association meeting last Tuesday, and we received a free in-depth analysis of our website that is going to help show us how to track those kind of things as well. So,
Very nice.
great little perk for being an
cause I would
FCA
say,
member.
they're looking at the lodging, they're really considering coming to Guthrie.
Aaron prepared this video on Friday, and he told me today we've had 7,000 hits on that video.
Yeah,
That's pretty impressive.
very
A
impressive.
lot of shares too, I've noticed.
And that's where you can really get the, not just the impressions, but when you see the shares and the actual clicks, that means they've actually clicked on it to watch. That's where you really, I mean, that, if somebody's gonna spend the time to watch it, you know, they have some level of interest.
Those shares are free advertising because,
the-
you know,
it
we'll-
shares
we'll
better
pay
than
for it.
liking it.
Exactly. So, you know, we've seen, I think it
Absolutely.
was at 4:30, it was about 350 different shares on those two different ads that we had. So, we're excited about the traction that we're getting there.
But you're
So are
talking,
we collecting that data?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
On all the events that were, the
On everything.
CBB is.
Not this year. We're gonna wait.
Just kidding.
We're gonna give it about 3 years and we'll know.
but you're talking on
Still
this
good.
budget of 125,000, we'll be voting on that, you said. but I
You'll be
mean,
voting on the number itself, and then
I don't-
once we come back and say, you know, if anyone wants to have questions outside of this meeting for me or Lori, you email them to us. Hey, we can bring it up during the next meeting as we talk about how we're going to implement this moving forward. But right now, finance just needs to know what number are we planning on.
So are you saying that if we had a plan for more money and could come to the city with that plan, that there could possibly be more dollars than the 125? Is that what you're saying?
I guess I'm not following your question.
For the budget, I just assumed that budget amount was a fixed amount. I mean,
No, it really just depends on whatever the pulse of hotel motel lodging
Because
tax
it's based
is.
on that, I mean,
Right.
that's,
We receive 2/3 of the hotel motel tax collections, the other third goes to parks.
so that
So is that what that-
125,000 is based on
That.
history.
Right.
okay.
If
So
we,
yeah, our
you know,
budget
if we
goes
come
up
in
if
and say,
the hotels are
hey,
full.
we're having 4 outstanding events that are gonna bring 50,000 people, we can always do a budget amendment next year. Okay. So,
And we do have some events that are gonna raise that up anyway. Little Britches.
I feel pretty strong about that number. I feel pretty strong. Kim and I, it was a brief meeting, but it was a very thorough meeting in itself, so. But if you have any questions, or if you don't see something on here that you want to see moving forward, just give us a holler and we'll try and figure out a way to get that in the budget.
On the print advertising, is that the same advertising committee that's meeting, or? is we spending
It
that
will be
money,
the
or-
same committee that's met. A little bit on the print advertising, I was personally shocked and quite frankly disappointed. Frontier Country Marketing Association decided to not have as many options for print advertising as they did last year. One problem that I have is that I think we only saw 2 sources for print advertising, and they were both within the Oklahoma City metro. And so it feels like it's more marketing rather than advertising for tourism. Whereas, you know, we're in the process still. We've still got 2 more issues that we're hitting in Arkansas Life and Missouri Monthly for this year that we bought through Frontier Country for this fiscal year. So it was certainly disappointing to not see as many out-of-state magazines available.
Do you know when those ads are coming out? Soon, I
May.
There's the deadlines are May, and so they'll run in June and September, I believe.
So do you actually have like a portfolio of the ads that go in all these things that, if we wanted to see what they looked like?
Yeah, maybe that's something we could present next
Yeah.
month.
That'd be
I'll go
nice.
ahead and throw that
I'd
on
like to
future
see 'em.
items.
I mean, I don't
Are
subscribe.
those
to-
ads Frontier Country did for us,
No,
for those? or
most of them,
Did those publications do those for us, those ads?
it's a mix. This land almost exclusively does ours.
Lazy.
Lazy E and Little Britches did a couple different designs for us, and then have we paid anyone to do an ad for us yet? I don't think we have.
No, we had the small ad in the rodeo.
Right, that they
Magazine.
did for us. So no, I mean, it just kind of depends, it's a case by case basis. A lot of these groups, especially this land, they know what's gonna attract their readers, and so we kind of leave it up to them. We always have approval about 2 weeks before the deadline. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that on for next month as a portfolio of ads that
Yeah,
we've ran.
that'd be nice.
Okay, anything else considering, discussing the budget? Anyone else have any questions? Okay, we'll move on to item 5, discussion concerning downtown walking tour.
Yeah, this is just kind of an update. The deadline for it was actually last week, and so I'll tell you kind of what we have submitted for the grant from the Oklahoma Historical Society. In some ways, we are entitled to it. Technically, we have to at least put in a grant for it, though, or a grant application. The Oklahoma Historical Society and we as Guthrie City Hall are a member of the Certified Local Government Program. We put in for a $4,500 grant. Like I said, it's somewhat entitled to it. We are somewhat entitled to it because of our status as a CLG member, but we have to at least show a ready project that promotes historic preservation in some way. And so we did an education campaign. I'll tell you, it wasn't our first pick. Our first pick did get shot down. I really don't know why, but it was more just, I think, a couple other projects in cities past didn't do a very good job of reporting on it. So they really liked an educational component for us. So we are hoping to launch that very soon. We're working with a group out of Moore who has virtual reality 4D technology. So putting a couple different educational pieces throughout downtown that'll actually have Guthrie characters come to life, tell you a little bit about a building or a certain site specifically. I think this is going to be a huge tourism element moving forward. Especially, we wanted to keep two things in mind. We wanted to have it be, emerging technology and virtual reality so that we can make a big modernized splash. But at the same time, we understood that we wanted to make sure that everyone had access to it, and so we kept it very low tech at the same time. So there are going to be two different options for this that are going to end up being rolled out that I think are going to have huge tourism draws whenever it's all said and done. I expect the project to roll out at the earliest by fall of this year. And so maybe we could time it with our Victorian walk and everything like that. That would be very, very exciting. But it's going to take some time to get the technology and have the right partners come in that are willing to get in front of a green screen and play their Victorian roles. But I think it's going to be a very, very exciting project.
Sounds
So we put in for that last week.
I
Again,
love low-tech, high-tech 4D. I don't know about y'all.
I just mean that you can have, it's going to be a walking tour that you can open
Take a
on
pamphlet or
8.5 by 11.
Yeah.
Everybody
And you
sees
can
the
do
same
it.
thing at first.
Okay.
You can do it,
Yeah.
or you can download the app on your phone and everything like that and scroll through that way. And if you do it that way through your phone, that's when you'll really see the characters come to life. Otherwise, you're just going to be, it'll be a nice
So, but
addition
it'll
to a
basically be
brochure.
a
but-
guideline of where to start and,
Yeah.
that's very cool, very cool.
So are you
we're-
starring in that?
Huh?
Are you starring in that?
I am staying away from that one.
Be a good one for the mayor, he's really good.
One of the things they
Just to grow
suggested
his
doing
beard
was,
back.
was having one of them centered on a section of the city. And you click your phone on it with the app and you'll see the city years ago, did different phases.
It'll be
So
kind
you're-
of, yeah, like an Instagram filter,
Mhm.
basically, to where you can swipe through and see a building, how it was in 1927 and, you know, all throughout Guthrie's history.
Pretty cool.
We're very
That
excited
sounds
for
like
this.
a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. The folks at the Territorial Museum have 2 interns coming on this summer
Oh,
that we are
Yay.
very,
We
very
can
excited
find
to
us
be
some
partnering with.
photos.
So, and a couple folks at the Territorial Museum are also volunteers for the green screen project as well. So we're very, very thankful for them.
Okay.
Maybe we can even
That's
talk
the
Will Rogers and Wiley Post into.
That's
right.
All right, let's go to item number 6, future items.
I've already got the portfolio of ads on for next month. We'll do a list of everything. We'll probably even go back a little bit further than this fiscal year, just to show what we have done. I don't know that we've ever did an update like this, so this will be a good introduction for everyone.
Okay. Anybody else have any?
Anything else anyone wants to see on an agenda?
Oh, see on the agenda?
Do we,
I'll text you.
do we need to stay updated on the Little Britches rodeo, or is that another? This is really gonna be a big deal. And it's imperative that we make a good impression this first of the 5 years that they're here. It's a huge coordinated event, Lori knows. And I don't know how much this group needs to be engaged with that or not, Lori. I just know it's gonna be huge, it's gonna take a lot of effort by a lot of different people to make it first class,
It
which
is.
is what we want.
You want to ask Robert if he can come down next month?
I'm sorry?
You want to ask Robert if he can come down next
Sure,
month?
yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay. We'll look to see if we can have a rep from Little Britches here next month to kind of brief you about their event
In fact, we have,
and talk about needs.
Would you send to fly in from North Dakota or Montana?
we actually have a Little Britches person here in Edmond now.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and Edmund?
I'm
They
meeting
live in
him.
Edmond?
if there's like any volunteer opportunities or anything.
Oh, there are.
Oh, huge,
Well, that's something this committee might be able to help with. So,
huge.
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll look to see if we can have someone representing,
or participate in, maybe not help with, but participate in.
maybe not flying in, but,
Yeah, well, I mean, I just hated to see somebody fly in.
well,
20 minutes.
they love coming down and just staying updated on what's going in. I mean, they've been at how many chamber coffees now?
At least 4.
Yeah.
4.
They're back and forth.
They
They
hosted-
technology.
They hosted their board meeting at
FaceTime
the, yeah.
We got some of that.
I take long
I take
time.
I don't know that
You're not
we
gonna
can
live that down.
do I need to go back and explain that a little bit?
No.
You're really
That's a great
good.
option.
Great.
It is on it, so I don't know if I just wasn't clear.
No,
There's
you're
2
clear.
different options. There's 2 different. It's not high tech, low tech. It's high tech or low tech.
Oh, okay.
Am I good?
It's high
All right. Okay. This wasn't. Maybe I can go back.
Cody, could we do something like could we do a video thing?
Yeah, just a
If they
FaceTime or something
I
like
mean,
that.
they have a representative.
We've got the technology to do it.
I say if they like to fly, let them fly.
Fly.
They're
we
always,
can
they're
fly
always
there.
lazy.
Don't we have a budget for that?
It's
We have
$1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$1,000.
trip.
Like to fly, love them.
Yeah.
Road trip, yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay. So portfolio of ads and a
Kansas.
update from Little
It's
Britches.
in, mostly Colorado.
And, okay. On to the next item then. Item number 7, staff comments.
I've got nothing.
You said like 4 things the other. I just want to give a quick thank you for the Arts in Guthrie coming out last month. We met with Lucy a few, maybe about 10 days after the last meeting, and I expect that we'll hear an update from that group again soon with kind of a plan of action and what they'd like to do. So I just want to give a special thank you to them. Sure you didn't have anything?
No. Am I missing something?
Probably, but it's okay.
And we are live.
Yeah.
Item number 8, board comments. We'll go around the room.
I actually just want to piggyback on what Cody just said about the arts in Guthrie. She brought her laptop up and kind of showed her different things, some things that she's done. And Lucy's been on it. She's really done a lot of good things with what little resources she's had. So I'm anxious to kind of see going forward the organization gain some traction and some success. She's going after some big dollars and things, so I'd like to see her get it.
Good.
I think, how about your apothecary nights? Can you go on there?
The Apothecary Nights is on hold for this year, since other things are going on.
Okay.
Just FYI, we've got, the Master Gardeners of Logan County are hosting the statewide Master Gardeners Conference first week in June. There'll be probably about 400 Master Gardeners from the state as well as surrounding states that'll come in and be a part of this thing. Reception on Thursday night. The program is actually out at Langston University, and there's 6 major speakers. 4 are from out of state, national reputations in the gardening arena, and a lot of people will be here again Thursday night, Friday night. I hope to enjoy our community. Also, was there any feedback on the van for the arts in Guthrie?
Yeah, that's what I was just,
Was there?
did you tell her that? About that?
I guess our plan of action was that she was going to put together kind of an itemized budget.
So we have no feedback from her on that?
We have not received anything
Really?
yet.
Okay.
She was going to get with Fast
She was gonna
Signs. I think
wrap.
Fast Signs was who she had checked with before, so she was going to get the price of that wrap.
To wrap.
She was going to get with Megan again, and actually just wanting to double check kind of on overall design for it as well before they start wrapping. As far as I think her initial plan is not necessarily just to roll up the back and you have it open. I think she wanted kind of a side door.
Yeah, they were going to put a side door in.
So anyway, so yeah, I think she was interested in pursuing that, so she was going to check into that further. And then on your Master Gardener, so is the event's on Friday, so people will
Friday, it's all day Friday. Thursday night is a social here.
So will people be staying, you think, Friday night? Because
I'm hoping
we have our
they're gonna
block
say
party on
Thursday night.
Saturday.
Well, we're going to have a booth there, and at least 2 people running around with "Ask Me About Guthrie" T-shirts on. 2 people maybe. But actually, if we had some more information, James, that would be good to put in the info that the Master Gardeners are putting out.
Okay.
Can you?
What do you want? Are you wanting something like 8.5 by 11, or you want a postcard? What do you want?
8.5 by 11.
What's
Send
the date?
electronically.
What's the date again?
It's the first full week in June.
Okay.
So it'll be,
It's that first Thursday and Friday.
the 4th is a Saturday, so it'll be 3rd, 2nd is.
Second and third.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good.
Okay, Trey? Just looking forward to Red Big Nights. And I was in Guthrie last Saturday, well, I'm in Guthrie all the time. I went downtown to Art Walk on Saturday and spent a few hours downtown, and it seemed as if it was somewhat of a success. Lots of people, lots of stuff going out on the sidewalks, and lots of out-of-towners. I ran into people from lots of little cities around us, so.
I thought Art Walk was a lot of fun this year.
It was.
Our
It
golf was
something.
amazing this
It was
year.
good.
It was cool for
It was-
us anyway.
Yeah, it looked, like I said, I stayed downtown for a few hours, it was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna take a second turn. And about the art walk, it was really good. In fact, to give you some feedback, the lady that had the tiny house that sold the soaps and the homemade bath items, she had her largest single event day ever outside of being part of like large pop-up shop events, things like that. But since she had her largest one ever, so that was really good. I mean, she was just slammed all day long. In fact, the art walk ended at 8. I don't think she closed her doors till 9.
Several of them downtown were still hanging around for that
Yeah.
time, so. Good thing.
I'm good.
Nothing?
No.
Okay, well, all I want to say is I wanted to address a little bit, last week we kind of talked about, or last month talked about who is going to take over the reins, lead, oversee the festivals and, the younger group. We were talking about that. I got to thinking and I thought, well, it's us now, and who are we? We're business owners, we're, employees of large businesses in Guthrie. We're the same people that are gonna be doing it in 20 years, We're just gonna be, it's gonna be another restaurant owner up here, there's gonna be another bank worker and another small business person. I think that's how it will happen. I just think it'll happen naturally. We do need to get some younger people. Well, we got James, he's young, Cody's young.
You're 60 what?
Yeah. Trey's young, see, so they'll bring in other people and I just think it'll be a natural thing. I don't think it's a lot for us to worry about. I think they'll be here. We're just gonna have this cool town, it's not gonna change. So, but I know right now, that's probably not a solution to the issues of, 89ers or the big events that we have that require a lot of work. So, I'm just saying, sitting on the boards anyway. May not be doing nothing, those be sitting on the boards, trying to figure out the same thing we try to figure out, so. Anyway, anything else, anyone?
Going back to the art walk, when we were doing the art walk, we did it over at the art center. And if you haven't gone inside that place, it's kind of mind-blowing, all the stuff they've shoved into that building now, even upstairs too. You were up there, like they have these gigantic looms, and it's some of the coolest I've ever seen. And it's so complicated, my mind can't even figure out what the heck's going on with these machines and stuff they have in there. But it's some of the coolest stuff, and they're you wouldn't know that it's in there because they don't hold up signs saying, "Hey, we're in here doing cool stuff." But if you get a chance to stop in there sometime, it's they do so much, like weaving and pottery and all kinds of just art stuff happening in there all the time.
And they have classes for most of
Yeah.
all of that. They have classes that you can do. It's
There's a
really
lot of
pretty.
that kind of stuff, the weaving and the looming and all that kind of stuff going on, and then like Keely and her Sealed with a Kiss, she does all sorts of events in there. I think there's a lot. And
The glass, she does glass blowing classes too. At
yeah,
Denise
there's just a
Gallery.
lot of stuff going on in Guthrie that, I kind of know about, but
Yeah, and
wish
Guthrie's a
everybody
good place
knew
if
about
if you want to become an artisan
Artist,
person
yeah.
that makes things. Guthrie's a really good place to find people that will teach you to do stuff.
it is. We got food makers too.
I want to learn how to do all kinds of things.
Yeah.
That's right.
We do. We have some really unique things here that you don't see in other cities, not that packed this close together. So, okay, anything else? Meeting adjourned.
What do you think?